It's been ages since I've made any videos about my fish room, and if you haven't seen my channel before, this is my L number Pleco breeding and raising fish room. There's a number of fish tanks in here, and actually, well, I'll take you through all of these tanks to just show you what's been happening in all of them. But I guess the bigger news for this space is that I'm planning to shut down quite a few tanks in here, so I will also be scaling down on my collection of adult L number Plecos. Hopefully next week I will have this group of L236 collected, as well as this breeding group of L397. They will also be collected, and I will also be thinning down my breeding group of Hypercisters Sidely, L333, King Tiger Plecos. You can see some tails of breeding males, and this guy in here is actually sitting on X. Maybe this one as well. Hard to say. Well, the reason why I want to thin down my collection of adult L number Plecos is primarily because breeding L numbers where I live doesn't make any sense. There's very little interest in them, very little demand in them, and honestly, well, I have a whole tank full of different Hypercisters juveniles, and it's really difficult to sell them. Actually, I'm selling them for 10 pounds each, which is like really cheap, and they would cost probably like 3 times more at local fish stores, but still almost no one is buying them, and obviously I keep on removing juveniles, and I have more and more of them, and I have less space to actually keep them. So yeah, I guess I will keep the zebras, Hypercisters zebra. I will keep my L236 super whites. I will keep probably a few, maybe like couple of really beautiful males of L333. And so this is a group of L236 which I will be rehoming next week. There are 5 of them, 3 males and 2 females. They're all fully grown adults. I was well, I bought them as super whites, but well, I bought them as tiny juveniles, and now as they've grown up, I can see that they're not really super whites. They're actually just regular RB basics. Moving on, so in here I have my group of CW28, Hoplysoma CW28. I am going to keep them, and as I've said, there is also a breeding group of Panacolas 397. It is impossible to see them, they are hiding most of the time. They will be rehomed. It makes no sense to breed them because there is no demand in them. Moving on, I've got my group of L260, Hypercisters L260 or Queen Arabesque. They are going to stay with me. I really like them. Actually, I haven't bred them yet. They're still, I think they're, well, they're grown-ups, but they're not properly mature yet, so I think it's gonna take them a while. Right, so a closer look at my L236 super whites. You can see a tail of an adult male in here, and this is another male in here, and I've got a female hiding in there, impossible to see her. Well, one other new development in my fish room is that I've installed this air rink. Well, it is sort of an air rink. It's not a proper rink. It just pushes air through this PVC pipe, and I have all my air lines connected to this PVC line and PVC pipe, sorry, and there is a Hygger air pump in here, pond air pump, that does a very good job of providing oxygen, providing air for all of these tanks. So yeah, I absolutely enjoy keeping and breeding L number Plecos, but the problem with breeding these fish is that there's no demand locally, and I don't ship fish, which I think is very well, challenging and definitely not worth the effort if you're not a business, if you're just a regular hobbyist like myself. So you have no other choice but to sort of shut down a few tanks and rehome some of my adult breeding groups, which probably is a reasonable choice because as the numbers of juveniles are growing, and I currently keep them in this relatively small tank, obviously I don't have any other space for them, so it becomes more challenging. So yeah, I'm not sure if I will still keep those species which I want to keep to myself in this space. Maybe I'll move them elsewhere out of this under staircase storage space, which I'm using as a fish room currently. So yeah, not sure about that, but definitely I'll keep about 3 or 4 species, the ones that I really like, and the ones, well, maybe I will breed them if they breed. But yes, obviously zebras are not going to produce too many juveniles, so I'm not concerned about them. The same goes with super whites. They might breed prolifically, but yeah, well, so far they haven't. Yeah, I guess that's a brief update about everything in my fish room. And yes, yeah, I think I haven't talked about that in my previous updates about my fish room, is that I have now a relatively large dehumidifier in this space, and it proved to be very helpful and very useful in reducing humidity levels and reducing condensation levels, because this is a very closed in space. So basically it's just a storage space under the staircase, and it has no windows, and it just has one door which I keep closed to keep the space warm. And previously I used to have some issues with mold. There was mold growing mostly like in these areas in here, and like in here you can still see it here. I just need to repaint this whole, it's not washable anymore. And there was also mold growing in this door frame area, like up there, but now there's no mold ever since I've installed this dehumidifier, and it's actually doing absolutely amazing job. I also keep all of my tanks closed with a lid. Previously I used to have a few open top tanks for whatever reason. Now I don't. They're all, well, this one is not firmly closed, but the rest are quite firmly closed with lids, so there's very little evaporation occurring in here, which is another good thing. I think it doesn't cause any extra humidity in this space. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how everything functions in here. It's obviously a very cramped space with lots of things squeezed in here, but otherwise very functional and quite well, quite easy to service and to do maintenance on all of these fish tanks. But the problem being is that, well, breeding this fish, as I've said, makes very little sense, because I have lots of problems with rehoming juveniles. So yeah, I guess I'll stop at this point. This was meant as just a brief update video, and maybe I'll do a slightly longer species profile videos, not on zebras. Obviously there's tons of information on YouTube about hypensister zebras, so makes no sense to make any species profile videos on them, but maybe L236 super whites is something that I can talk about in future videos, and some other less known species. Alright, so I hope you liked this brief update, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.